of Eclipse. Okay, from now onwards, you cannot write any program. From now onwards, you cannot write any program. So the solution only for this is you need to what is this? You need to have the latest version of Eclipse. That's all. So IDE, any version of IDE is still fine. Any version of IDE is fine, but you should always have IDE only, not any other version. Not download now. That's what I told you yesterday. Download, install, and come. Now I will. It already takes 10 minutes. I don't want to waste my 10 minutes. Test NG. Test NG stands for test next generation. Test NG stands for test next generation. Test NG stands for test next generation. It is a it is a unit testing framework used by developers developers while doing white box testing. Okay, so what is this? It's a unit testing framework used by whom? Developers while doing white box testing. Now you tell me, are you guys a developers? Are you guys a developers? No. Okay, then why should you learn this tool? You guys are not developers. You guys are not developers. Correct, right? So this tool has lot of advantages. This tool has lot of advantages. So what are the advantages? Look at my screen. First, we have download and install that we have already done yesterday. We can give priority to the test cases. We can give priority to the test cases. We can use invocation, count, invocation count. Next, we can skip the test cases. Next, we can generate the report automatically. Next, we can do we have annotations. We have annotations. Next, we can do sequential execution of the program. We can do parallel execution. Next, we have assertions where we can do verification. Next, we can rerun the failed test cases. Okay, so what these are all the advantages of testing. Everybody's clear? Okay, copy down this. Hmm. Class A, public static void main. This we call it as a Java class. Correct? Yes or no? Any class, any class which is having which is having public static void main. Okay, any class which is having what? Public static void main, we call this class as Java class, isn't it? Correct? So any class which is having what? Public static void main, this we call it as what? Java class. Any class which is having what? Public static void main, we call this class as what? Java class. Correct, right? So this is where the execution of your program takes place, correct? This is a point where exactly your
Yeah.
execution of your program takes place, isn't it? Isn't it?
Like, what's that?
This is the point
What's
where the
that?
execution of your program takes place.
Yeah,
Now you
question.
have you have
Mm.
next class A annotation test public void demo. This class we call it as the testng class, a class which is having annotation test. We call it as what? Testng class. Okay, the class which is having what? Annotation test, we call it as testng class, but the execution of your program takes from here. Okay, the execution of your program takes from here. Are you understanding how in Java the execution takes from public static void main? In the similar fashion in testng, the execution takes place from where? From the annotation test method. The execution start taking place from where? The annotation test method. Are you understanding? Are you understanding? So this is a place where execution of your program takes place. This is the place where the execution of your program takes place. So this is a Java class. A class which consists of public static void main, we call it as Java class. A class which consists of annotation test method, we call it as testng class. So this is a point where the execution of your program takes place. And this is a point where the execution of your takes place in testng. And this is a point where we have in Java we have annotation test method where the execution of your program takes place. Clear? Clear? Okay. Now, now, in Java, we use SOP statement, correct? SOP, that is system dot out dot print ln. And here we are going to type hello, and here this is going to print it in your console, correct? So here we are going to print what? System dot out dot println, and here it is going to print only in the console, correct? But in testing, as we all know, it is an advantage. Look at the point number 5. It has an advantage. So what's the advantage? It's going to generate the report automatically. What's the advantage? It is going to generate the report automatically. So for that, we're going to use a statement called as reporter.log. Reporter.log. True. So if you give it as true, it will print it in the console and it will print it in the report. Okay, if you write it as reporter.log hello, and if you write it as false, it will just print it in the report. It will just print it in the report. It will not print it in the console. Understood? If you give us as true, it will print both in console and report. If you give false, it will just print it in report. It will not print it in the console. So that's the reason you can use system.out.println and no problem. But what's an advantage using this reporter.log? This is the advantage. Clear? Everyone is clear? Okay. Make a note of it. Observe it carefully. Okay, you should have the latest version of Eclipse. If you're having older version, I've told you day one only, you should have the latest one. If you're having older version, from now onwards, your programs will not work. Everybody look at my screen. Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible to everyone? Look at my screen. So here you should not select main method, guys. Here you should not select main method. No public static void main here. Okay, you should not select main method here. No public static void main here. Okay, so here you have to use annotation test method. Public void demo. Here you should not use annotation public static void main. Everybody make a note of this. Everybody make a note of this. Make a note, Tilia. Write it down. Write it down. Finished? Finished? Look at my screen. Look at my screen. Place your cursor. Place your cursor on annotation test. And you have to add test.ng library. Step number 1. And this is only one time process. It will not ask you every time. It will only one time. So make a note. Click on add test.ng libraries. Click on add test.ng libraries. Click on it. Click on add test.ng libraries. Click on add test.ng libraries. Click on add test.ng libraries. Click on add test.ng library. That's the first point. Second point, import it. Import annotation test. Import annotation test from test.ng annotation. So first you have to add test.ng library. Second, you need to import it from test.ng annotations. Import it, everyone. Import it from test.ng annotation. Import it from test.ng annotations. Okay, now reporter dot log hello Java comma true. Okay, reporter dot log hello Java comma true. Now, if I run this program, where and all this will get printed? Where and all it should get printed? Okay, it should printed in console, and also it will be printed in report. It will be printed in console and it will be printed in report. Add, I cannot show it to you again. It's only one time it will ask you. You have to open your eyes and you have to concentrate on the screen. Okay, hello Java, it will be written in the console. Make a note. Steps to see or generate the report. Steps to generate the report. Make a heading. Steps to generate the report. Steps to generate the report. Steps to generate the report. Once after executing the project, 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 right click on the project, refresh. Once after execution, right click on the project, refresh. Test output folder will be generated. 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 Expand. Right click on emailable reporter.html. Right click on emailable reporter.html. Open with web browser. Right click html. Open with web browser. Open with web browser. Open with web browser. Right click on emailable reporter.html. Open with web browser. So if you look at here, this is your package name dot class name. What it is? This is your package name dot class name. So demo is a name of a method. It has taken 10 milliseconds for the execution, and it is printing what? The message as hello Java. Understood? Understood? Similarly, if I write hello selenium comma false, where and all will this be printed? Where and all this will get printed? Tell me where and all this will get printed? Okay, it will print only in the report. Let me execute the program. Let me execute the program. Is it printing in your console? Is it printing in your console? No. How do you generate the report? How do you generate the report? Right click on the project, refresh. Right click on the project, refresh. Expand the test output folder. Expand test output folder. Right click on emailable reporter.html. Open with the web browser. Right click on emailable reporter.html. Open with web browser. Is it printing hello Java and hello Selenium? Is it printing hello Java and hello Selenium? Yes, every time whenever you want to generate the report, it's the same process. Write the program, execute it, generate the report. Write the program, execute it, generate the report. Do it, everyone. Okay, now look at my screen. Next comes the priority. What is the meaning of priority, guys? What's the meaning of priority? Priority means what? Importance. Importance given to the test cases. Okay, so what is priority? Priority is nothing but it's importance given to the test cases. That is called as priority. Okay, so by default, priority is by default the priority is 0. By default, the priority is 0. Okay, if two test cases are having same priority, two test cases are having same priority, then it will execute alphabetical order. Okay, so what is priority? Importance given to the test cases. By default, the priority is 0. If two test cases are having same priority, then it will execute based on what? Alphabetical order. Okay, so for example, if the priorities are like this, it execute in this. First is negative, then 0, then followed by positive. Okay, if the test cases are having the negative thing, first it will execute negative 0 followed by positive. Understanding? Negative 0 followed by positive. Got it? Okay. Make a note of it. Make a note of it. Let's go give the priority. No. Annotation test. Public void. False. Reporter dot log false comma. Let me import annotation test. Okay, now let me make it as settings, settings, and this is charts. Okay, now let me give the priority to this. Priority to this. So first, I'll give it as I'm using WhatsApp for chatting purpose. So let me give the priority as -1. So let me give it as priority as +1. So tell me the order of execution of this program. Tell me the order of execution of the program. Tell me the order of execution. Okay, first what it will get executed? Chats. First it will get executed chats, followed by followed by calls, because calls is having zero priority, because a calls is having zero priority. Then followed by settings, then followed by settings. Now let me run the code. Let me run the code. So first chats, calls, settings. Chats, calls, settings. Done. Is it executing? Now, if two test cases are having same priority, if two test cases are same priority, then how it will execute? If two test cases are having same priority, then how it will execute? Based on alphabetical order. Now, who will execute first? Who will execute first? Who will execute first? Chats, settings, calls. Chats, settings, calls. Chats, settings, calls. Is it executed based on alphabetical order? Is it executed based on alphabetical order? Yes. Clear? Clear? Everyone understanding? Anything. You can give any priority. Which one you want? You can give one, two, three, anything. However you want, you can do it. Give the priority, execute the code. You can give any priorities. You can give any priorities. Okay? You can give anything and you can execute your wish. Okay? But remember the points and do it. Start writing the code. Start writing the code. To run same test method, to run same test method more than once. Okay, to run same test method more than once, we use invocation count. Okay, to run same test method more than once. Okay, to run same test method more than once, we use this invocation count. Okay, by default invocation count is 1. That means it will execute by default one time. Okay, by execute default one time. If you want to execute more than one time, then you can write how much ever you want. Okay, by default it will get executed for one time. Okay, and look at my screen. Make a note of it. Make a note of it. Make a note of it. Finished? Okay. Now look at my screen. So here you can give invocation count. So you can give it anywhere. Invocation count is equals to 3. Now tell me how it will execute, based on what order? Tell me based on what order it will execute. Tell me based on what order it will execute. First it will execute. What will it execute? First it will execute what? Settings. Sorry, first it will execute chats. First it execute chats. Settings for 3 times. Settings for 3 times. See? chats, settings for 3 times, then calls. Then calls. So you can give any number. You can give any number. So if you want to run more than one time, you can give the invocation count. Please make a note of it. Execute the program. Execute the program. Execute it by giving invocation count. Next, last one. We can skip the test cases. We can skip the test cases. So how do we skip the test cases? By using enabled is equals to false. How do we skip the test cases? By making enabled is equals to false. Okay. So now look here. I don't want to run this. I just want to skip it off. Enabled is equals to false. Enabled is equals to false. Now you see, is the settings is getting executed? Is the settings is getting executed? So if you want to skip off the test cases, we can use enabled is equals to false. Enabled is equals to false. Please make a note. Please make a note. Please. The count you don't see. It will get automatically skipped. Don't see the count. Don't see the count. Don't see the count. Finished? You can skip it. Enabled is equals to false. If you run this, it will skip that complete method. It will skip off the test case. Finished? 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 Okay. Now, next. Make a note. Annotations. Write it along with me. Annotations. Annotations are used to control the execution flow of the program. Annotations are used to control the execution flow of the program. So what's the use of annotations, guys? Annotations are used to control the execution flow of the program. Example, okay? You know static method in Java? What is the use of static method in Java? What's the use of static method in Java? It will execute before your main method, correct? What's the use of this? It will execute before the execution of your main method, isn't it? Yes or no? In a similar fashion, annotations are used to what? Control the execution flow of the program. So before your main method, this piece of the code will get executed. Before your main method, this piece of the code will get executed. Okay. So in this, we have different types. Annotation, before suite. Next, annotation, before test, annotation, before class, annotation before method. Next, annotation test method, annotation after method, annotation after class, annotation after test, then after annotation after suite. Okay, so these are the different types of annotations what we have. So here, before suite will get executed only once. Before test will get executed before the test. Next, this will get executed before the class. This will get executed before annotation test. This is a place where execution starts from. Execution starts from. This will execute after annotation test method. Executes after the class, executes after the test, executes at the end only once. What was the last interview questions was given? What was the last interview question on what topic it is given? What was the last interview question was given? What's the last interview question which is given? Okay. What is sperm? What is page factory? Next. Advantages of sperm. Explain three stages of sperm. Differences between annotation find by and find element. Manual questions. Explain STLC, Java questions. Explain abstraction. Next, differences between abstract and encapsulation. Oh, abstraction is already given. Then go with encapsulation. Encapsulation. Explain encapsulation. Encapsulation over? Encapsulation over? Copy. Copy down this. Copy down this. Other things will continue tomorrow because I want some time for that. So other things will continue tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to do sequential and guys, I'll tell you there is a drive on Friday. Okay, will you guys attend? Experienced people. There's a drive on Friday for experienced people. Will you attend? Will you attend? Okay. So if you are interested, okay, I'll tell you. But there is some certain criteria. I'll tell you. So I'll tell you tomorrow. Prepare well. Okay. So whatever portions I'm going to do till Thursday, whatever portions I'm going to do it till tomorrow, everything will be there for your interview. Okay. Okay, whatever portions I'm going to do it till tomorrow, everything will be there for the interview. Prepare well for Friday. Otherwise, you have to wait till next month. Okay, so prepare it for Friday. Whatever portions I've done till tomorrow, it will be there. Okay, if you're prepared, I'll tell you the rules, regulations in tomorrow's class so you can attend the interview. Okay, you can attend the interview. Fine, fine. Okay, so guys, can we have a meeting today at 6 o'clock? It'll be 10-15 minutes. I'll just explain you, brief you about the how. No, not today. Not today. I'm a little bit occupied today.